Oh my gosh, you guys, you talk about a wonderful Christmas Eve. I'm here with my friend, George.
Yes.
How long have we known each other, George?
At least 20 years.
At least 20 years, which ages both of us, because it's...
I'm older.
Well, it's been about 20 years since I started doing a For Your Garden segment on Channel 4. Mm-hmm. And you and I are still there doing it. The other people have kind of come and gone, but you and I still do the For Your Garden segment.
Yes.
And it's been kind of sad. We have missed one another because I know, because for... Gosh, the past several years, I've come into the studio. Mm-hmm. And George and I, oh my goodness, we would visit and we would cut up and we would have fun. And we're going to share a couple of stories, a couple of really behind the scenes stories of the chaos that would
you won't believe.
You won't believe, and maybe you don't want to know some of it, that would go on behind the scenes. But because of COVID, I haven't been able to come into the studio. And so George lives just within spitting distance. George and Miranda live within spitting distance of me. And though this is the first time I have seen your Christmas magic, and George is extremely handy, and one of the things that we would visit about in between segments was all of the projects that he had going on, and especially during COVID, when we haven't been able to see each other, you so sweetly send me little videos and pictures of your Thanksgiving, of all of the holidays and stuff, and we share that back and forth and look at this little magical scene. I feel you and I were trying to come up with a name of it, like I'm in FAO Schwartz.
Yeah, but I'll go with that.
Kind of like that toy store in New York City. Okay, so
the Polar
Bear Express.
Yes.
Okay, the Polar Bear, kind of between the two. Okay, so tell me about kind of your inspiration for this and how long you've been doing this.
Well, I've been doing this for years because I change it up every year. But this, I was at home, and I noticed a pet polar bear. It was one standing straight up. I wanted it, but the price was kind of high.
Yeah.
So I went and picked up the little small one.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, that's okay." And as I picked that one up, a gentleman walked behind me and picked up the big one, and I said, "No,
I can't break up the family."
So I had to call every at home just to find another big bear.
Big bear. Because it just wouldn't be the same.
It wouldn't be the same.
And I was talking about some of the displays and stuff I have in my house, George. And you know, from my displays that I would do on the For Your Garden set, I love to tell little stories with things. And obviously, you have done that. And this is just, it is just absolutely magical. I love that Santa has his miniature reindeer, and actually I'm on the other side of Mama Claus. What is she? She is holding a candle
and a wreath.
Yeah, and a wreath, and playing Hark the Heralds.
Yes.
Let's be quiet for a minute so we can hear. Okay, if I didn't have the Christmas spirit before, I really have the Christmas spirit now. This is absolutely charming. So talk to me a little bit about, now, did I say that you were the cameraman there? I would call you El Director, because he would tell me what to do during the bumps and what looked good on set and what didn't look good. But talk to me, in addition to your camera skills, about your engineering skills and how you constructed this. And it looks out his fabulous picture window at one of our local parks. And is this where you play tennis all the time?
Yes, I play tennis out there all the time.
So one of the things that we always talk about is what tournaments you're playing in, and
the Ghetto Classic.
Yeah, and so I don't know why I thought you were playing at Will Rogers Park. I thought that's where you played your tournaments. Anyhow, I digress.
Well, I played there too for tournaments too.
Okay.
Well, I played at any tournament they threw out, I would go to it.
And let me also say, you guys, this is truly a Christmas miracle, because I don't think in the entire time I have known you, in 20 years, I've ever known you to be on vacation. And when I called and begged him to do this, he said he was on vacation, and I about fell over. So that is truly a Christmas miracle. Okay, so tell us about the construction of this.
Well, first I put in my mind that I was going to build this set with the bears, and I had to get it up high enough to look over the window,
right,
and so people could see it as they drive by. I had the sleigh, the Santa, and I had to buy some trees because I wanted some trees in the background, and I wanted the snow and everything. So I built it up high enough so we can see it outside the window and make sure that people can enjoy it as way I do, because I really enjoy it. My wife found the little present boxes there and fit perfectly with the colors and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just a work in progress. I add to stuff that I keep over the years, and I just keep it going.
Well, and what I love about it is it's just the right amount. You haven't done, you haven't done too much. You haven't gone overboard with too much stuff going on. And that way I think the drama of it and the term of it really travels down to the street. Mm-hmm. So when people go, you're kind of on the way to downtown. So when people are going downtown, or they're going to my neighborhood, or whatever, they can come by this. But speaking of detail and simplicity, let's talk about the opposite of that, because I have wanted to see this for years.
Yes.
I have been hearing about this for years. And is there anything more Christmas spirit-like, more traditional? Let's just pretend like we're going back in time in an old Christmas movie, and I want to go and see your train set.
Yes. It was my child's train set. He grew past it, and I loved it. So I kept it going.
Oh my gosh.
I kept building on it.
And that is an understatement. And here's a little inside scoop of a lot of the people at Channel 4. A number of them are really a bunch of grown-up kids, and they're obsessed with train sets,
yes,
including Mike Morgan, the weatherman. Who else up there?
Oliver Murray, who's retired now, but he's just as big into it. He actually pulled me into the digital age of the train.
Complexities of it. Mm-hmm. Well, it's absolutely brilliant. So we're not, let's move on. We're not going to hold you in suspense anymore. Let's go see this incredible train set. Well, if we're going to start any place in this magical village, I would practically call it a village. I guess you would call it Georgetown.
Georgetown.
Named after yourself. And this is incredible.
Thank you.
This is absolutely incredible. So when you started this, you said it was when your son was little. So little being what age? What age
about
do most?
4.
About 4. Okay. And it's obviously expanded, and
yes,
Georgetown has grown over time and broken the bonds of where it was originally. But can you talk a little bit about like where it started and then how you decided to add on to it over the years?
Yes. It started with the trains over here, which was Jamel's, my son.
Okay.
And it started with a circle. I put it around the Christmas tree.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
When he grew out of it, I decided to make it longer, make it a long circle. And from there, I decided to put a mountain in between the circles. Then I decided to make an L shape and extend it and add buildings and plants and trees and put all kind of machinery on it that like they were always working.
And I would have fussed at you if you didn't add plants and trees, George. But I mean, look at it. Parts of it remind me of Colorado.
Yes.
Because of the way that some of the trees almost look suspended, and you've got good diversity in your tree varieties. I like that. And the detail of like the little brush pile up
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
How cute is that? So would you see a picture and then try to replicate it with pieces,
No.
or you would just tell your own little stories?
It's all mental. As I put it together, it was nothing, no picture anywhere. I just mentally just decided to do it.
Stuart, can you show how, of the original train set, there's a light that goes on and off, and it's kind of hard to convey through the camera, but it feels very alive.
Yes.
Because when you look at different components of it closely, you can see this is the newsman in you. This is the cameraman in you.
Yes.
There's like different crime scenes here. And oh, look at the little
Dog.
at the little dog. Oh, man down. This was a bad accident. A bad accident. You've got, look at the little man over there doing a survey.
Yes.
The detail is absolutely breathtaking. Down to the way that you even, like the front loaders and the construction pieces, you have material in the front loaders.
Yeah.
You have helicopters suspended over, and
military base on the backside.
Military, because you were in the military.
No.
But your son, though.
Nope. My uncle.
Your uncle, okay.
And he tried his best to get me to go.
Well, I knew you had a family connection. So there's a military base on the other side. And then this is just so smart, and yet it had to be pointed out to me that you've got a backdrop. Stuart thinks that's funny. That you have a backdrop of a mirror to show the complexity on that side.
Yes. And all of that is newspaper and foam.
Did you make that?
Yes. Newspaper and foam.
Wow. And this is just
grass that you buy at a little harvest store,
hobby store things. Mm-hmm. Okay. And here, who's sitting on that little bench?
That's a little story there. Oliver Murray gave me that. It's a man taking a break.
Oh.
And there's a bear coming up behind him while he's taking a break.
Oh my gosh, that is so dear. That is just so dear. And you obviously are a man that really likes your trucks, because you've got a wide variety of different kinds of trucks and vans. I don't see a Fiat on here.
Oh, I'm
George,
sorry.
you need to, Dot feels underrepresented. But you said this, you're...
I just put that in last night. It's a town hall and a police department.
Because?
I'm a police
Because
officer.
You are. George has about, I say 10 jobs, he's got about 6 jobs.
6 jobs.
Realistically, he has about 6 jobs, which the fact, truly this is a Christmas miracle that he's not working. Oh, and look over there. I did not see the building on fire. Wow. How do you decide? So, okay, so as you acquire these things, you're going to a physical store to get them.
Yes.
And where is a physical store? That in Oklahoma City, or in surely a specialty?
Whistle Stop is on Britain Road.
Yeah, I know where that one is. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, Whistle Stop.
And so when you get there,
I just look around and see something that I like, and mentally put in my mind of where I want to put it. Everything in here is totally mentally also.
So you don't go in thinking that, like, oh, I really like that fire scene or whatever. You go in and it just
catch my eye.
It catches your eye, and then before you purchase it, you think of where you could put it in the context
of this set,
of everything else that's going on.
Yes.
Now, some of these, like these,
that's a Ford plant.
It's a what?
Ford motor plant.
A Ford motor plant. Oh my gosh. Look at and I love the juicy fruit.
Yes.
So, oh, here we've got a refrigerator truck. And
I feel like I'm a drone flying over a city.
I know. And like I say, the complexity of all of this stuff, Stuart, your little boy is really coming out.
My dad had all this stuff, so it is memories.
Well, the buses over there, I mentalized that as being a tour guide, a tour group coming in to visit the Ford plant.
Oh my gosh. Okay, if that's the Ford plant, what is this?
Do I see a Chevy
That's
over there
a-
right next to the Ford plant?
That's a place where they store all of the parts for the motors and stuff. They build them in this plant and they store it in that plant. So that's why they got the trucks over there backing up, picking up the parts, and then they pull them out and take them to all the other distributor places or dealerships.
So why is there a Chevy in front of the Ford factory?
Because people work at different places.
Look at all of the cute little convertibles.
Very cool.
I mean, what an imagination you have.
Yeah.
And then the city folk meet the country folk
Yes.
over
You got-
here. And you've got livestock.
livestock, horses, cows, little farm.
And so I asked you earlier if you ever saw a picture of something and you thought, oh, I'm going to replicate that in my train set, and you said no. It just all comes from the own story that you're telling yourself, and how it comes together. Oh, and the oil well! I just now saw the oil well.
Yeah. Believe it or not, the chopper blades spin. I just don't have the batteries on right now.
Oh my gosh! And where did you get the 4 KFOR truck?
I actually bought a truck and painted that.
Of course you did. Of course he did.
I had one of the graphic art guys make me the little pictures, and I put it on there and made it look just like Channel 4.
Because you don't sleep.
No.
Because you never sleep.
No.
Okay, of all of this, what is your favorite thing?
Actual just running the trains.
Just running the train. It's the experience of it.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to be too crass, but I know lots of people are going to absolutely be captivated by this. And I know you've made a lot of these things, so your time is worth a lot, but what kind of investment how much insurance would you have to have on something like this? Because I've got to imagine it's valuable.
It's valuable. The time would probably be 10 years in developing it.
Yeah.
Because I would take something and I would work on it all night long. If I got off of work, I would start working on it and wouldn't stop until like 5 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. And from a financial investment, is each part really pricey? Is it something you really have to save up for and make sure that you get that special piece?
If you are into it,
Yeah.
price doesn't matter.
Perfect. It's the perfect answer. It's kind of like gardening. When you want to have something, and it also sounds to me like when you get in the zone.
You're in the zone. You're in it.
That's a very good analogy.
Yeah, and I can so see how you can get in the zone. And the other thing that I love about this is these train sets is kind of an inner world, because the gift that you give to passersby and everybody that's in the park, from the scene that you've got that you can see through your front window, but this is just
The kid in me.
It is the kid in you.
There.
So does your son is he as enthusiastic about as you are, or?
No, he has other things.
That he's.
But he loves the train set. He comes up and he looks at it and he want to play with it. And he knows that was his and that's what started it.
Oh, that is so precious.
It's part he is still.
Yeah, well, and it's a legacy for him. And you said you have lots of nieces and nephews.
Yeah,
and
they love to come by and watch it.
Yeah, because I'm surprised. You hear about little boys all of the time, and all the old movies about train sets were always about little boys, but I can't imagine a little girl would go crazy with something like this.
Yes, they do. They do.
It would just be so fun to decorate and create. And what an imaginative device for a child.
Yep, because they point out every little item that we don't normally look at. They would be close up and they, look at that little horsey, look at the little truck.
That is
just excited.
Yeah. Well, because it's their scale. It's just closer to their world.
Right.
Well, this was the best Christmas Eve gift ever you could give me, my friend. In addition to getting to see you, you know I'll be back.
Yes. Yes.
And this is so fun. And by the way, my sister she just got married, and my new brother-in-law.
Congratulations.
Yes, is also into trains.
Oh,
so when they come to town, I must.
Yes.
I must bring them over.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry that I won't be in the studio on Christmas Eve, the real Christmas Eve.
Okay.
I know, but I'll be back.
All right.
I'll be back. If nothing else, you come and you and Stuart can be co-cameramen in my backyard.
There you go. There you go. We'll do that.
Okay. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Same to you.
Well, if you have held on this long, here is my fashion epilogue. I really think that Mama Claus is upstaging me, but here's what I've got on. I've got on a turtleneck sweater that I got at Anthropologie a couple of years ago. It kind of looks like the snowy backdrop to George's window display. I've got on some bracelets. The slide bracelet belonged to my mom. You've seen this ring before. It was a gift from my mother-in-law. My earrings, my earrings belonged to my second mother. My breeches are Calvin Klein, and I believe I got these at a thrift store. I think I may have gotten them at Goodwill. And my boots, I think, are Cole Haan, and I got these in Santa Fe when I was with my daughter-in-law years ago. She got a pair, and I got a pair too. So there you go. There's my outfit du jour.